Okay, Dad.
No.
Hey, you don't have to shush it. Okay, Dad. We're ready for you.
So this is called Marriage Factors. Saturday morning found me at Tumalo Coffee having house coffee and ham quiche as usual. A steady stream of young and old made their way in for the coffee or tea, a tasty treat, freshly baked. All sorts of morning guests. A nice looking family with 2 teenage sons, a baby having full attention of 2 aunties and a mom, and a table of 4 women and 2 men. I'm enjoying the final sips of my lukewarm coffee, observing the interactions of those around me, people watching. This sets my mind in motion, all about marriage. What are the main factors that define marriage? How would I categorize key components of marriage foundations? Well, here I go. Marriage factor 1 is sexuality. Of course, obvious choice. Marriage is driven by sexual attraction of man and woman, mutually drawn to each other. As a man, I find women have been designed by God with a huge wow factor. It's a combination of features: eyes, lips, hips, breasts, the whole self. Sexual intimacy tops all passion, with resulting bonds unparalleled by any other experience. The release of sexual tension brings calm and sweet harmony. A strong and vibrant marriage needs the sexual factor to be nurtured and kept thoroughly alive all the years of a marriage. Aging changes how sexuality plays out, but the embers of sexual romance must keep aglow always. Marriage factor number 2 is companionship. Having a marriage companion at times is strong, and other times it's just subtle. Companionship, when it's strong, is when you're sharing a victory or a big disappointment, when you don't know what to do, you don't want to be alone. You need stability. A companion is so completing, sharing together a vibrant rainbow, watching fluffy snowflakes cover every limb and blade of grass, sharing a springtime coffee in the early rays on the front patio. It is driving along without saying a word, comfortable togetherness. It is meals together, sharing the day's events, TV at night, cuddled up on the couch. Companionship nourishes the soul. It instills a deep sense of well-being. Life is just much better together. Take a minute. Make a mental note. Is companionship alive and well with your spouse? Is improvement needed? Does darling companion ring like a song in the rooms of your realm? The benefits of companionship are worth the effort. Thoroughly enjoy your togetherness. Marriage factor number 3 is conversation. There must be conversation in marriage. It is a connection. Having a chat keeps you up to date. A serious talk is vital when serious issues are pressing in. Comforting words are needed to buffer sadness or loss or anxiety. Some lighthearted banter can bring joy and laughter. Some are gifted at wit and humor. They can keep you in stitches. Situations arrive and problems need solved. Several people bringing their ideas and point of view will usually bring good resolution. Talking. Angry? Talk it out. Confused? Get advice. Lonely? Talk to your spouse or a friend. Seeking answers? Talk to a wise person. In a marriage, if anyone clams up, the problems just fester. Eat food, get sleep, speak softly, and calmly talk and explain the issue. If it's too volatile, get help. A trusted friend, a counselor. If you talk too much, control yourself. Start a conversation and don't speak or interrupt. Let your spouse speak. They probably do have an idea or two. If you are a person of few words, work on more than yep and nope. Use several sentences. Express yourself. Give your thoughts. You will add value to the conversation. Marriage factor 4 is sharing the load. The husband and wife each bring a strength, a talent, and ability to the marriage. Live life and talk things over. Find out who takes on each role in the household. Work it out. Cooking, cleaning, gardening, accounting, garbage, and shopping all need to be done. Figure out who does what. Please, don't be lazy or a slob. Do your part and then some, and make the household run smoothly. No one does all things well. Accept that fact and take on the responsibilities that suit you best. Compromise when you find a job neither of you want to do. Maybe trade off week at a time or hire it done. The Bible tells us that two are better than one. Pull together, help each other, fill in the gaps for each other. As a team, you'll be stronger and more fruitful than two separate people. In my thinking, I've identified these 4 marriage factors that are core segments in a marriage. All 4 need to be functioning well for a marriage to be in top shape. Marriages can survive if some areas are lacking or are under par, but the full potential will be compromised. Marriage is a dynamic duo, husband and wife. So these 4 factors are not isolated into tidy compartments. They are interrelated and overlap back and forth. So a simple example will put this in perspective. The example is the husband and wife are going for a drive. The husband takes the wheel and heads out of town, destination in mind. For this trip, his role is to be the driver, her role, the navigator. An hour into the drive, he is a bit drowsy, so he slips his right hand into her blouse. The sexual part is started. She responds with a sigh and a slight giggle. This is body language communication. He speaks. Inside your blouse is a marvelous way to fight the sleepies. And so companionship is elevated, conversation has him speaking, and there's a sexual connection for both of them. All 4 factors are engaged. Marriage is humming along. There's peace and inner well-being, joy on the journey. If a factor is missing in a marriage, as vital element is absent, much to the detriment of the thriving relationship. Take note, take action, take immediate steps, even if they're small steps, to fix what's missing. If sexuality has declined or stopped, go to dinner and hold hands, sit together, sides touching, snuggle. If companionship seems distant, plan a simple outing together. Put phones away and enjoy a park bench by the river watching the geese. If conversation is turned silent, ask your spouse a question. Listen intently. Take turns. Set time aside just for talking. If your lives have taken separate paths, volunteer to help in some way. Do things together. Take on the other person's task. Don't give up. Repair what isn't working. Devote yourself to it. With effort, especially if you both work at it, it may come back together. A thriving marriage is a beautiful thing. May you experience the joy and fulfillment of a marriage that is the finest.
Some good thoughts. A marriage counseling session just in one setting.
One setting.
Do those things and it's going to be okay. Remind us, Dad, how long you're married?
Married 54 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of those things are probably, that information was gleaned, or your thoughts were gleaned from a few years of your own marriage, then helping lots of people with their marriages over the
Well, I
years.
suppose whatever kind of gets thought out is probably a bit tainted by your own experience. So maybe tainted isn't the right thing, but it's kind of some
Flavored by.
autobiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Ellie, any thoughts?
Not a single one.
I think it's hard sometimes for grandkids to hear grandpas talk about sexuality
You
things.
can't say things like that, Grandpa. You just can't.
I wasn't even very explicit. I just said
You were explicit enough. Thank God.
just a hand in the blouse. I mean,
Don't
it
say
could have
things
been.
like that. Grandpa.
At some point, Els, I think grandpa thinks that everyone's an adult and they can handle it.
I'm not. I'm a child. I'm just a baby.
Well, this is proper married life.
Yeah. It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Dad.